Hello parents, my name is Felicia Wright, and in this video we're going to talk about how to use a homeschooling planner. So first things first, I want to talk about why you might need one. You might need one if you are educating multiple kids at home, meaning you have 2, 3, 4 kids, even one kid. You want to keep track of what you're doing day to day and some of the activities that they have going on because, as you know, with lots of kids, more than likely they all have different activities that you're trying to keep track of. And now with homeschooling, you're trying to keep track of all their homeschooling activities. So you want to start writing that stuff down. And it's also great to reference back like, hey, what did we do last week? Hey, what did we do last month? To make sure that you're on the right track, even if you do have a curriculum. And I want to go over the one that I created and how my family uses it in this video, so I hope it's helpful for you. So the one that I created for my family is called the Confetti Education Planner, and I'll put a link to this in the description below. It's a digital one, but when I created this planner, I made sure I included all the things that I thought were important, especially as an educator. I've taught hundreds of kids, and I feel like there's some things that are left out, and I made sure I included it in this planner. So you can see that this is my homeschooling planner, and on here these are the different areas that the planner covers: growth mindset, Eureka, activity, passion project, still thinking, and don't forget. And then I also have a planner short key. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Let's go over a blank page first to make sure it makes sense with the blank page, and then I'll show you a page that's actually filled in. So here is a blank page. So on this blank page, you can see a lot of different things. And the nice thing about this planner is that it is based off weeks, not dates. So what I mean by that, you'll see this one, it says December week 4. So if you get this planner, you can use it year after year after year because it's not dated. So you can just keep downloading it, because you know the ones where it's dated, you have to buy a new one every year. And I made sure that I didn't have to buy a new one every year, make a new one every year myself. I wanted something that I can make it once and then it just lasts. So let's hop into what all this stuff means. So the first thing, as a teacher, that I felt like it's left out a lot, I created a section for a growth mindset idea. And growth mindset is just helping children understand that they can do anything provided they have the right mindset. That's not the official term, but that's how I view it. So with my children, I always try to instill in them like, hey, it's okay, it's not perfect, because one of my daughters, she thinks that everything needs to be perfect before she puts it out. So that could be a theme for the week. It's like, you know what, progress over perfection. So if that were the theme for the month or for the week, I will put progress over perfection and make sure I'm talking about that throughout the week. We're doing lessons based off of that throughout the week, because I think it's important for our children to not only be able to do academics, but they also have to have the mindset piece, which I think is lacking in education. The next part is the passion project, and this one's my favorite part, and I'll explain why it's my favorite part in a second. The passion project, you're focusing on what your child actually likes to do. What if your child likes gardening? Or what if your child wants to learn how to take apart a computer and put it back together? That would not be me. So you would make sure you write that down and include those types of activities for your kids' passion project throughout the course of the week, because it's important, because children are more than reading, writing, math, social studies, and science. I think it's more important to focus on what they're good at than focusing on what they are struggling with, because that helps with their growth mindset, that helps them feel better about themselves. So passion project, and then this is broken down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So let's go over each one. So Eureka is like, yay, something they did well that day. They finally got down how to write their ABCs. So it's just a way to signal to your child, like, hey, I did something great today. And along with that growth mindset, with still thinking, this is basically an area of what they're still struggling with. And I purposefully did not put still struggling because I don't want my children or anybody's children to think that, like, oh, this is something that I'm really struggling with, this negative connotation. So still thinking, it's like, you're still thinking about this, you're still learning, and that's okay. So that kind of ties in with the growth mindset. So this area is for things that you're still thinking about. The academic focus is when you would plan out those things that you need to get done during the day. Activity is any kind of activity. Sorry. Whoops. Any activity you have going on during the day. Husband's calling. Any activity you have going on during the day. And then the last one is don't forget. So if something, it could be anything. So if you forgot to do something during the day, you can write down, hey, don't forget to do this the next day. So, and then that's Monday through Friday. So let me show you a page that's actually filled in to give you a sense and an idea of what this could look like for you. And I would also suggest get creative, because what mine looks like isn't necessarily what yours is going to look like, and your details can be different. All right, so this is a week that's filled in. Growth mindset idea is identifying things we are good at. So just signaling to our children, hey, I'm really good at drawing. Hey, I'm really good at this. And that's something that we work on during the week. Passion projects, and let me explain why it's my favorite, because my daughter loves to bake, and I get to eat all the goodies, so that is my favorite part. Yum, yum. So this particular week, she is focusing on pastries, and even these passion projects, I want to point out, a passion project, within baking, she's constantly learning about measurements, temperatures, how to double things, which has actually been really cool and really cool, and it's been a stretch for her actually, because we got into measurements a little earlier than we would have, but it makes sense to her because she's like, I get to make cookies or whatever she's making that day. So remember, those passion projects is more than just them doing what they want. There's academics within it. All right, so I'll just go over some of this. So like Eureka, multiplication, 2s and 4s, yes, I did great at that. I get a little closer just to make sure you can read it. And then multiplication, still thinking, 5s and 6s. And then main idea. Academic focus for that day. This is the way I write it down, but you can actually put times of like from 8 to 9, we're going to do this or whatever. But on here, we have the writing lesson was 45 minutes. About main idea. ELA 30 minutes, reading, math is 30 minutes multiplication. And that day we didn't have an activity, so I put not applicable. And then don't forget, I put 3 brain breaks because that was actually quite a bit for that day. So that's what I put. And then it goes on. So you'll see on the next day, there was an activity. She was baking cookies, and we didn't have anything for don't forget. Eureka finally got me an idea. That was great. Next day, make delicious cookies because I like to eat. And then sometimes I put little stickers. Don't forget some baking supplies because baking supplies. And then still thinking, I didn't have anything to say. And then science. And then for us, we don't school on Fridays. We might be switching that up for us. And then we had a field trip to a bakery because my daughter likes to bake. So this is just an idea of what it could potentially look like for you. And and this goes all the way through the entire school year. The other pages, like April, it's got like different colors, yellow, gray, and blue. But I hope that was helpful for you. I think that having a homeschooling planner would be very beneficial for you and your family. And especially this one, there are some other types of topics in here that you might not have thought of. So think about that. So if you want to check this out, this is in the description box below, a digital download, so you can use it, do whatever you want with it, and use it forever. So I hope that was helpful, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.